Hi guys, today we're going to be doing the Freddie the Fish pollution activity. This is Freddie the Fish. He is a happy fish that lives in crystal clear water, enjoys the shade of a tall tree along the riverbank, and gets lots of insects to munch on each day. How do you think Freddie feels? One day, Freddie wondered what was beyond his little part of the world. He decided to go on a little journey and explore. He headed downstream. He's ready to see the world. Along the river, Freddie first comes across a spot where bulldozers are taking out trees and clearing land. Soil and dirt roll into the river because there are no tree roots to hold the soil in place. Poor Freddie gets soil in his gills. Without the trees, Freddie notices he is feeling warmer. As Freddie continues down the river, he spots some black and white animals moving closer and closer to the river. While these animals are getting a drink, they drop a present into the water for Freddie. Freddie is not impressed with the smell or the sediment that is being stirred up. As Freddie rounds the corner, he has to dodge a golf ball that nearly lands in the river. The golf club likes to keep their courses looking nice, so they use a lot of fertilizer. Unfortunately, when it rained last, it caused it to run off into the river. Freddie noticed that this area had a lot of tall plants growing and actually was starting to feel smothered. However, Freddie is a trooper and charged on. He was determined to see all that the river had to offer. After a while of swimming, Freddie began to notice a salty taste to the water, and he started to feel the sting of salt in his gills. All the salt that was used on the roads in the winter had worked its way into the river. Ouch, it's hurting. How do you think Freddie is feeling now? Freddie continues on and passes a picnic site at a local park. As he was passing, the wind began blowing litter into the river from the park. Freddie is starting to feel a bit distressed, but he keeps moving on. It begins to rain, and Freddie notices this rain is different. It turns out this rain is acid rain caused by the air pollution. Along the river edge, Freddie comes across an old abandoned factory. There are a lot of toxic pollutants and rusty materials seeping into the river. This creates a sludge in the river. Freddie tries to swim through it. After struggling, Freddie finally gets through the toxic pollutants in the river. Along the side of the river, Freddie notices a man dumping oil from his car into the river. The oil gets into his gills and he starts to have difficulty breathing. He gasps and takes his last breath. So that's the story of poor little Freddie, and now I wanted to show you guys what Freddie looks like afterwards and how dirty the water that got in him was. So you can see poor little Freddie is so dirty and his little gills are all full of dirt. And then the water that Freddie was in looks like that. Yuck. That is not crystal clear river water right there. So now I want you to brainstorm ways that those activities could have been done without impacting Freddie's environment. Put that in the chart attached to this Google Classroom assignment.